Welcome to The Touch the Sound, a special series of videos for percussionists to explore sounds and techniques on our instruments. This session is going to focus on all things made of wood. So let's get started. It may be that you've been handed a woodblock part, and often the default is to take the block nearest to us and grab a pair of sticks and play. But that creates a particular sound that's ticky-tacky with those sticks. I encourage you to explore using hard yarn or potentially like these hard rubber mallets on the woodblock. All of a sudden we hear a rounder tone that's more consistent with what we expect from the sound of a woodblock. Now, you also may have different sized blocks at your disposal. I encourage you to study the score and listen to the other instruments for which you're playing your part with, so that you can see if maybe a darker lower block might be more suitable for the part than the higher block. Lastly, it might be that you're able to play the block with one hand. I encourage you to consider picking up the block, having the opening facing the audience, and then using that hard rubber mallet again to play for your audience to see as well as hear that beautiful tone. Now let's move over to a collection of blocks, or what we consider temple blocks. These are graduated wood blocks, small to big, that have a high to low sound. Now, it may be that you have the option of using a wood collection or a plastic collection. If you have the choice, I much prefer the wood blocks. But it sometimes is the case that we only have the plastic blocks, and that's okay, because the way we can transform those plastic blocks into sounding very much like a wood block is again the choice of mallets. So let's start by striking the plastic blocks with a pair of sticks. We can also do the same on the wood blocks. A ticky-tacky sound that may suit some settings, but really if we want to get to the rich sound of those wood blocks, we might switch the mallets. Already we get to that open tone that comes from a beautiful sound on either granite blocks or, if possible, the wood blocks. Now, let's move over to some smaller instruments. First up over here I have the vibroslap. The vibroslap, as we know, is that we're to strike it and then we hit the ball and the instrument vibrates. But I found that when the part is stressful and I'm counting and then the time comes, sometimes I miss the block. So a way to avoid that could be just lightly pinching the ball to the vibroslap and then releasing it right when the cue comes. And you get that very exciting, rich sound right off the bat once you release the pinch. A wooden scraper might be the part you have, and you've been handed the wooden scraper and maybe a tiny little scraper itself. That creates a particular sound, a soft sound, a distant sound. But if you want to get an exciting, vibrant sound, I encourage you to consider going to your nearby store and getting a hair pick. That way you have these prong scrapers, which can make a more exciting and vibrant sound from the wooden scraper. Lastly, the castanets. So it might be that you encounter often castanets that are attached to a machine, or what we consider machine castanets. But if you have castanets like these, where they can be removed and held in the hands, I encourage you to do so. Then you bring your knee up on a chair and you can perform on your leg. This is engaging for your audience and allows a much more vibrant and exciting sound, and you can control your dynamics a little better when playing on your leg. Well, I hope you've enjoyed all these different ideas on these wooden percussion instruments. And the next time you get the part, you might ask yourself, what would I do with the wood instruments? Anyways, remember, always play with purpose and have fun.